Hello everyone, good afternoon, how are you? Um, so just to quickly address the obvious before we get into the video, I'm sorry about my throat. It's absolutely killing me. I was trying to wait for it to go before I'd done another video, and it's just not, so I thought, fuck it, we'll just do a video anyway. Through the headphones I'm listening to, it sounds cooler, but if I start coughing, I'll pause the video and we'll carry on. So just sorry in advance. So today we're gonna be reacting to. I got a suggestion from Pushback, who's like, I feel like he's been like my first subscriber out of the people that I didn't know, because obviously some of my friends subscribed in that. And he's there every video, so shout out to you. And he's asked me to react to meet the most intimidating player in the NFL, Lawrence Taylor. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Just before we get into it though, I got another one that I'm going to do next. It's going to be react to Antonio Brown, best wide receiver from Hey Dog. So we're going to do that. I'll probably do that tomorrow and upload it tomorrow, just to make up, because I know I didn't do any over the weekend, just because I've been out and about as well. But we're going to get straight into this anyway, and we're going to see what this Lawrence Taylor's about. I feel like I've heard the name before, but every video I react to, I feel like I've heard something, and by this point, you might just think I'm just bullshitting, and maybe I'm just bullshitting myself, I don't know. But we're going to get into that anyway. Oh. Alright then. We're going to get into it now anyway.
April 28th, 1981.
The New York Giants, first round selection, Lawrence Taylor, linebacker, North Carolina.
Little did they know, he was going to become the most dominant defensive player of all time.
He looks fuming anyway.
The dude's career started off legendary. On his draft night, he claimed he drank 41 beers. That's insane. It had to be a crazy night, on top of the fact that he didn't even play football until 11th grade. And now he was the number 2 overall pick. The
Wow.
Saints, who held the number 1 pick, said that they weren't going to take him, and they decided to go with the cleaner player, which ironically ended up being a bad move. The Saints pick wasn't a bad player. He was actually pretty decent. He had a few 1,000-yard seasons, not too shabby, but he's not a Hall of Famer, let alone the most dominant player of all time. So Lawrence Taylor was a 3-4 outside linebacker, mostly specialized in rushing the quarterback. He was bigger than most linebackers, and faster than them too. It didn't matter who offenses tried to block him with, he was either too quick, too powerful, or both. Teams changed their entire blocking schemes when they would play him. So this one time, Buddy Ryan, who coached the Eagles at the time, decided to call a play that would crack Lawrence Taylor. And it worked perfectly. Well, that was the problem. Rule number 1, don't piss off Lawrence Taylor. The next 2 plays ended with 2 sacks by Taylor, and the quarterback Ron Jaworski hobbling around. Jaworski over time feared LT. This poor dude had to face him twice a year. Jaworski said that he made sure he always knew where he was during the play, but wouldn't dare make eye contact. When LT was asked in an interview, "Did you ever make eye contact?" he said, "Once. I winked."
That's badass.
Lawrence Taylor knew he could get into the head of opposing players. They come to the line of scrimmage, and the first thing they do is start looking at me. I know, and they know. When they find me, they start screaming, 56 left, 56 left. After the play was over, I'd come up to them and whisper, "Don't worry where I am."
Okay, so you know the things that they shout out during the line of scrimmage, like 56 left, and you know, I've never had no idea what they were shouting then. I knew there were numbers calling out players, but I could never understand them, and I don't know if that's for a reason. I just never got it. So it's good, as basic as that piece of information was, in passing, that kind of makes sense that you'd call out the person that you think was the biggest danger. So if I was the quarterback and I saw this dude, or one of my mates saw him, that I'd want them to call him out as well, so I know I can keep an eye on him and just know where he is at all times. That makes sense.
I am. I will tell you when I get there. Not only was he a complete freak of nature physically, but he just was insanely reckless and a hardcore partier. He would show up to practice reeking of booze, and to counteract the stench, he would down an entire bottle of soap. An entire bottle of mouthwash? That's gotta be worse for you than the actual drinking itself. One of the craziest things about this dude, he said starting his rookie year, he smoked an ounce of crack every single day.
Crack?
He would spend thousands of dollars every single day on it. To pass a drug test, he would have teammates give him urine samples, which, ironically, tested positive twice for 2 teammates giving him positive samples.
There were times I'd be standing.
How do you just smoke crack? Like if you had an office job and you went into work and someone was smoking crack, I could guarantee you'd spot them before the day was out. But to be a professional athlete and one of the best and just be casually smoking crack, that's fucking funny. It's not funny. It is funny. I don't care. That's funny.
In the huddle, and instead of thinking what defense we were playing, I'd be thinking about smoking crack after the game.
Well, you gotta understand though, it didn't affect my play.
He wasn't lying. To start off his career, he went to 10 straight Pro Bowls, having 7 seasons in a row with double-digit sacks, including 20.5 sacks and the NFL MVP in 1986. Crack and cocaine didn't slow LT down. Well, neither did injuries apparently.
So for any young kids getting into the NFL, along with your training and that, make sure you definitely try out crack and alcohol. That seems to be the key. So if you're in training, go do that. I'm joking.
I made a video about how tough Jack Youngblood was, but this is pretty ridiculous as well. Playing against the New Orleans Saints, LT came off the edge, but as one of the offensive linemen he had beaten fell down, he brought his weight down on Taylor's arm, which ended up tearing a muscle in his shoulder. Clearly in a ton of pain, LT was not going to be denied the opportunity to play, even if it meant playing with basically one arm.
Fucking hell.
The trainers strapped it up as best they could and sent him back out on the field. He would go on to have 3 sacks. Other than him grabbing his arm after plays, you can't even tell he's hurt. LT was just that much better than everyone on the field.
Jesus
When
Christ.
you can rush 3 linemen and Lawrence Taylor, it's like rushing 5.5.
Yeah, you can tell which arm
One of the
busted,
intangible
but
factors of a dominant team, especially a defense, is intimidation. Jerry Sizemore, a former offensive tackle of the Eagles, in a New York Times article said, "There were many sleepless nights. You played New York twice a year. Towards the middle of the week, something would just come over you and you just start sweating. My last year in the league, opening day, he just looked at me and laughed. Right there, I thought I had to get out of this game." The dude ended up quitting after that season. In the same interview, he also said, quote, "I'm glad that LT was on the left side and that I was on the right, so I could play as long as I did."
Jesus
The last thing I gotta
Christ.
talk about is LT's most famous play. Even though I'm sure a lot of you have seen this, I'm just gonna say this now. Discretion is advised.
Please look, we're back to Theismann's in a lot of trouble. And it was Lawrence Taylor who slammed Theismann to the ground at the 42-yard line. The blitz was on. That's not necessarily a good play to have called. And quickly, Lawrence Taylor is up, saying Theismann is hurt.
Ugh.
LT completely snapped the man's leg. One of the most gruesome injuries in NFL history.
That was fucking brutal. I can't see bones breaking and shit like that. Ugh. That goes through me. That was disgusting. But for anyone that's a bit of a sicko and wants to see it again, we'll play it
Could you
again.
just
Just in case you're a sicko.
The blitz was on. That's not necessarily a good play to have called. And quickly, Lawrence Taylor is up, saying Theismann is hurt.
You can see it pop.
LT
Ugh.
completely snapped
That's
the man's
fucking
leg.
horrible.
One of the most gruesome injuries in NFL history. Could you just imagine being Joe Theismann's backup, going in after that play?
Oh, no, please don't hurt me.
This sort of thing is why quarterbacks feared this dude so much. Former NFL defensive back Beasley Reese told the New York Times, "I've seen quarterbacks look at Lawrence and forget the snap count." One opposing quarterback, finding himself under center before the snap, unable to locate Taylor, out of fear, called the timeout rather than run the play, only to find
Jesus.
Taylor standing on the sidelines.
Fucking hell. That's how you know he's in your head. That's I've never seen a player have that much of a mental effect on other people across sports. To get into your head like that, and that's not even by him. Like in none of them videos, he actually went out of his way to intimidate people. It was his reputation that made them shit themselves like the way they did. Which is crazy because, you know, as a professional athlete, one of the biggest things you have is that mental stability and that. So if you're intimidating people at that level, then you're a beast. I kind of want to see him in an interview just to get a sense of what he's like as a person, aside from just being a beast on the field. But he looks like a monster. Is that him there? Crazy. No, I don't think it is. But he looked huge. He looked scary. But every time it showed a clip of him, he was laughing, which was a bit sadistic. But I suppose that gets into people's heads. When you see someone's not worried like you're worried, that makes you worried more. Because you feel like you're not even a threat to them then. It just belittles you. Which is crazy. Man, I still can't get over the whole crack thing. Just smoke some crack during the week. Thousands a day on it, or a week. That's just crazy. But shout out to Pushback for putting me onto that, because I haven't heard of him. I thought maybe I'd recognise something, but that's completely new to me. Yeah, he's a monster. But yeah, as I said, we're going to get onto Antonio Brown, greatest wide receiver. That's going to be the next video. I'll do that in the next 2 days. And I'll put a link to the original video down in the description, and you know, a link to my Instagram or anything if you want to go ahead and follow that. There's not much on it at the minute, but I'm just building it like I'm building the channel. But yeah, everyone have a great day, and enjoy the rest of your week, because it's Monday and I know it's shit. So peace out, man. Take it easy.